Positive manipulation refers to ethical influence and guidance that leaders can exert to inspire growth, creativity, collaboration within teams and organizations. Understanding positive manipulation is a nuanced concept that diverges from negative implications commonly associated with manipulation. It involves using influence persuasion techniques to encourage individuals or teams to achieve goals that align with both personal and organizational interests. Unlike coercive manipulation, positive manipulation is grounded in empathy, transparency, and shared pursuit of success. It's beneficial. It's not usurious. So if it's nuanced, I know people don't like the word nuance, but something can be good and then go bad if you do it incorrectly. So it is a very nuanced concept. I want to just delineate from that. Okay.
The only word that threw me off in that part of it is when you said transparent. I don't feel like transparency and manipulation are cohesive. All the other things made sense, but the part to say that it's transparent doesn't sound right, because how could you be transparent while manipulating at the same time?
It's very, I mean, it's like somebody telling their business and telling their business for some type of a gain at the end of it. I mean, transparency is the ultimate form of vulnerability, and what better way to be manipulative than to be vulnerable?
I'll give you an example of transparency being manipulative. Say me and Andrea are together and I cheat on her, right? And she's going to threaten to walk away from me. And you're like, you know what? You're a cheater. Get out of here. Or I'm out of here, right? And then I turn around and say, you know what? You're right. I'm a piece of shit. I don't deserve you. And now she's going to turn around and say, okay, I ain't gonna leave. And next thing you know, I manipulated her by being vulnerable and transparent at the inopportune time to make her feel guilty for leaving somebody that has admitted that they're a bad person and they can change.
So that's definitely not ethical, right?
It's not. That's negative manipulation. Again, nuance. Nuance is the key word. Y'all going to negative.
But why
that's just manipulation.
But we're still together, though. That's positive.
No, let's really break it down. Let's really get into it. Why isn't it unethical? What makes it unethical to be vulnerable for the sake of gaining something at the end of it? What makes it unethical?
Because all she really wants you to do is admit that you were wrong. So you admit that you're wrong and she stays. How is that unethical?
I think what she wants you to do is to stop cheating.
And part of stopping doing anything is admitting that there's a problem. So yeah,
it's unethical. You're saying what you explained was patronizing someone, right? So that would be unethical. So you cheated, which is unethical, and then you try to fix it by patronizing them, which also is pretty unethical. So I can't see how that would.
Admitting my wrong, and I'm being vulnerable and transparent.
He's like, I cheated on you, but at least I was honest about it.
But
I think that's very different. I think that when it comes to women, I feel like a lot of times, especially in the society that we live in, most women have to resort to manipulation because of the fact that some men have women, we have a disadvantage when it comes to this patriarchally societal, whatever it's called. Patriarchy societal, whatever it's called. So
all right, closing remarks on this topic, because we gotta get to the super chats.
Okay. So I think that overall, I think because of the world that we live in, sometimes you could be at a disadvantage, it's okay to be manipulative, because if someone has a one-up on you, why not be able to, use what you have to get a one-up on them? I don't think there's anything wrong with that.
I don't see anything wrong with that. What is wrong with y'all? Y'all are the problem.
All right.
Go ahead.
To a degree, what Andre somewhat said is correct. Because men have the monopoly on force and power in regard to physicality. Because if I want something from Mr. Let Go, I don't have to manipulate. Well, I could, but I could just walk up, whip his ass, and take what I want from him. Whereas women tend to have to, when it comes to dealing with men, they would have to finagle their way into getting what they want. You know what I mean? So I get what she's saying. The part that I don't understand is her saying that men don't do shit or give a damn about women. That is absolutely false.
She didn't say that.
What did she say? Just so I can make sure I'm correct. Just so I don't misquote her. What did you say about men not? You said something along the lines of men not.
I said that I feel like men don't tend to prioritize women's needs and wants and desires. They tend to prioritize their own selfish needs and desires. So because of that, women have had to master the art of manipulation to get the things that they want and the things that they need.
Okay. And in all honesty, we don't... Oh, go ahead. Okay, go ahead.
Sheesh. Okay, I hear what you're saying, Andre. All right. I don't necessarily think that is true for the most part, because men naturally protect and care for the women that they deal with. Y'all are our priority. Half the shit we do on this planet is because of y'all.
I totally disagree.
So most of the shit that men do on this planet ain't because of women.
So the priority in which she's talking about, and you'll let me know if I'm wrong, Andrea, she's talking about the attention, the time. We're working hard, but she's at home not getting time, or you're not calling her while you at work or whatever. So yes, on a deeper level, we're prioritizing her. I would say on the surface level, we're prioritizing her, but the actual presence isn't there, and women feel like they're ignored, because at the end of the day, we're not supposed to prioritize our woman. If I'm just being real, if you prioritizing your woman, like, you ain't out here working, so I can't prioritize you because I got to get this money. So I'm not supposed to prioritize her. So that's why I agree with her.
Well, what you just described is that we prioritize women for a different reason than what they expect us to prioritize them for. So they have a certain expectation of us. That doesn't mean that men don't prioritize them. We just prioritize them in our own way. We do what we feel like this is what we need to do for our women. They may have other stuff that they may want from us. Just using your example, because I don't know if that's necessarily true as far as what Andre was even talking about, but let's just use your example. You said they feel like they need us to prioritize them and how they feel, but we're at work. That doesn't mean that men don't prioritize them. That means that he's doing what he needs to do that's necessary for his woman to survive and for his kids to survive.
But you got to remember, women don't care. They want you to give them what they want when they want it. You got to remember that. The attention, the presence, and sometimes you can't give it to her, but she still is feeling like is at a deficit.
Shan, tap in, Shan. Tap in.
What does it do with the physically or thinking that he or prioritizing her? How she feels has nothing to do with what his priorities are.
Well, that's the problem. Go ahead, Andrea. Go ahead. I know what you're about to say.
So I think that this is just my personal thoughts, and from when I talked to other women of older stature that have shared with me, a lot of times I feel like men do not prioritize women's feelings and the things that they want.
And I use the word presence. Keep that in mind.
Yeah, I feel like they prioritize other things. They don't prioritize their feelings, because most men feel like feelings and emotions are not something that they can relate to or something that they can tap into for whatever reason, because they were taught that it wasn't manly to acknowledge feelings and emotions. So I feel like sometimes they tend to disregard women's feelings and the way that they, think about certain things.
You get it now?
Well, let me explain something to you.
I don't disagree that men may not prioritize their feelings. I get that may be a thing, but to say that men don't prioritize women is simply false.
I just saw
we have a different reason why we prioritize them, and it may not align with what they want us to prioritize, but it's still in our mind as men.
I can't believe I'm taking up from Andrea.
In her mind, she is getting ignored.
It was Mr. Let Go that said women aren't prioritized by men. Andrea never said that. It was Mr. Let Go that said that. She said emotions, feelings, and desires. But a man can still prioritize. Yeah, but she
said women aren't prioritized, and I actually concurred with her.
Yeah, she said, she explained it later on what she meant, but at the first, when she first said it, she just simply said women aren't prioritized. Right. And then Let Go gave this example, and I just ran with it.
Mm-hmm.